This is your nation station, DBS Radio.
Living in the positive, and I know good will conquer evil. Jerusalem amidst the battle, and I know love will overcome hatred. Oh yeah, living in the positive. Oh children, let not your hearts be troubled. Wipe away your tears and fears, 'cause I know love will conquer evil. Oh yeah, and even through my darkest nights, oh, fear not, there is on my side to protect I. Oh yeah, and even though the rods are against I, Lord, 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 yeah. Fear not, though my chances are slim, yet my hopes are so high. Living in the positive, and I know good will conquer evil. Jerusalem is the battle, and I know love will overcome hatred. Oh yeah, living in the positive. Oh children, let not your hearts be troubled. Wipe away your tears and fears, 'cause I know love will conquer evil. Oh. Oh, oh, yeah. Even when my burden gets heavy, too heavy to carry, Lord, Lord, and sorrows become my best friend, then no one let me be. Oh, Lord, and even when 10,000 foes set themselves against I, and fools say that my chances are slim, yet my hopes are so high. Living in the positive, and I know good will conquer evil. Jerusalem is the battle, and I know.
Well, good evening to you, Dominica. Good evening to you from Scotshead in the south to Capuchin in the north, Castlebrus in the east to Salisbury in the west, and everywhere in between on this lovely Wati Kubuli, the nature island of the Caribbean, and so for some, the nature island of the world. It's DBS Radio. My name is Nicols Jacques. It's the 9th day of the 9th month, the year 2025. It's Tuesday, so it's Get Empowered. And yeah, we're in for just nice little time tonight as we seek to empower you, and we'll let you know a little bit of what's happening. You could always log in to your YouTube or Facebook page, and you will, I guess, be connected that way also. So we're live for these mediums and these platforms. You can check this out and can say I love the smile on your face. All right, so we're in tonight, and we're living in the positive. As we say on Get Empowered, it's a time where we seek to help you get better, not bitter, yeah? A time when we seek to help you find a reason, not give yourself an excuse. You can be so much, and you can do so much, and you can become so much. Yeah, a little more of Nasio, please. We've not had the end of you. The world have not had the end of you. There is so much potential in you. There's so much you could do. Sorry about the deep with the voice. Yeah, I got to bring some things up. 8 minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock on the 9th day of the 9th month. That's all. Let's have all the digits line up. You know what I mean? So at 10 past 10, I will do something too. But good to have you tuned in. Once again, tonight we will skip our, song of the week.
No good.
I'll get that on with you next week. By the way, tonight we want it to be interactive. Yeah, we want to, some of you just feel you're cool at home. I want to just sit down and listen and digest and get the information. And now you've seen me on Facebook and all on YouTube, and you're seeing us. You're just checking us out, see if you the buttons are all pinned and all of that kind of stuff. Your analytical minds. Yeah. Well, we hope you could interact with us tonight, just share a thought, do something, and let's make the program interesting. I'll introduce and tell you about our guests. But if you were on last week, we have a part 2, and so we have that coming up shortly. Yes?
Your hopes are so high, living in the positive, and I know good will conquer evil. Jerry's amidst the battle, and I know love will overcome hatred. Oh yeah, we're living in the positive.
The weather for this evening is, weather alert for this evening from the Met Office. Moisture from a weak tropical wave will bring cloudy skies, scattered showers, and possibly isolated thunderstorm overnight into Wednesday. People in areas prone to flooding, landslide, and falling rocks should stay alert and exercise caution. All right. And there is also marine condition in the west coast. Waves should be up to 3 feet, and east coast up to 7 feet. And the advisory and the connect and the word from the Met Office is stay safe and be weather wise. All right. So once again, moisture from a weak tropical wave will bring cloudy skies, scattered showers, and possibly isolated thunderstorms overnight into Wednesday. People in areas prone to flooding, landslide, and falling rocks should stay alert and exercise caution. Marine condition, once again, west coast waves up to 3 feet, and on the east coast waves up to 7 feet. Stay safe and be weather-wise. From the Dominica Meteorological Office. All right, nice. 11 after 8 o'clock. All right, good. We're living in the positive, right? Living. I like the vibes from Nasio. He says to us, live in the positive. Chant down all negative. And as you do, Jah will make a way. Saying good evening to all my Idrin out there. The man Alcazar, the man Ital. The man Chicago. Touching the man Moses have also. Patrick Sunoverina. Was that Jimmet? Or rather Taru. All the lovely people from WPC up in Warner Village, good evening to you. I love the smile on your face, yes? Good evening to Bernadette and Michelle. These are my girls. Well, I say that, when I get home, I'll get a spanking for saying my girls. Good evening to all of you listening from out of Dominica. Good evening to the man Steinberg Henry. Thank you so much for your wonderful inputs. Good evening to Janice Aylwa, already locked in. And I guess the Romaine family. Keep on living. Hey. And we're living in the positive. Trample down all negative. We're still living. Nice. Thank you, Nancy. We'll just bring it down a bit. And like I said last week, last week it was about the virtual learning platform and I guess social media, the particular AI role in our children's education. We dealt with a bit of that last week. It was a time of empowering parents and guardians on how to keep pace with the youngsters, and in keeping pace, be also not be kept in the dark, but be also in a position where you can assist. We cannot always be police officers and policemen, with a big bat or a big stick or something to handcuff them. there's sometimes you've got to be good guides, good mentors, and guide them along. So last week we had webmaster, a web administrator, Nicols Dennis, for created quite a bit of enlightenment as he opened our eyes and helped us understand a few things as it related to the virtual world, the learning platforms, and all of this that our children are exposed to, the Google Story, the Zoom, and all the things that we kind of looked at. This evening, we're here to continue the conversation. Like I said earlier, we want to continue the conversation, but we want to continue it with you, and we want you to feel free to log in. I'm not sure if they are able, Nichols, to, you could read their questions. I've not seen anything here on the screen that I can maybe tag in, but if you're seeing, I'm not sure if we can tell them, send it that way. But if you can't send it that way, you could send it via my, my WhatsApp. Yeah, send it via WhatsApp to me if you have a question, or if you want, you could call us. Let me give you the number. You know the number, but I'll give it to you again. The number is 1-800-327 if you are on Dominica, 1-800-327 or 448-3281, 448-3281 or 448-3279. That's for local, 448-3281, 448-3279, or 1-800-327. And if you're out of the nature isle and you're listening somewhere out there, you can always access us, 305-432-9744. That's 305-432-9744. All right, for these numbers, you can call us, ask us the question. I've got the webmaster, the web administrator here, and I guess the guy knows stuff about Google stuff. He knows stuff about Zoom. He knows stuff about how to hook up this and all of that. And I'm not sure if you have technical questions about stuff. You might deal with that too. I don't know. I'm going to turn over to him shortly. He's doing his thing. And so we'll be logging in and just conversing with you. We have matters to talk to. We had something sent in that we may give attention to as it rolls, but it's going to be all about him, and he's going to guide us through the conversation. So if you're ready, my brother, good evening to you, Nicols.
Hi, good evening, Pastor. What's up?
I can't complain, I'm doing well, and how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Started the new year on Saturday. I consider a new year because that's the time when I consider that I've started a new year of life, and it was relatively good. I had 3/4 of my day was spent actually speaking with individuals about technology and artificial intelligence at the UE during the Dominica Young Entrepreneurs Club 2025 Symposium, Think Outside the Box. So my day was pretty filled.
All right. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had some me time. You know what I mean?
Me time. Yeah, that came across. But at the beginning, it was more
other people
time.
Yeah,
it was other people time.
One person described, having joy in life is to serve Jesus, serve others, and then yourself. Jesus, others, and yourself. JOY. But I don't know about that. But I'm congratulations on another year. I pray God grace you with good health, good peace. Peace of mind. Calm in your soul, and good mental health, emotional stability, and all of the good things that we require for good life. And I would maybe just say to you, not to put you on the spot, but as a man, take care of yourself, all right? Make sure.
I will.
You just take care of, some of us, we neglect that, so take care of spirit, soul, and body, ensure that everything is good. But good to have you again, and I'm not sure if you're my guest or I'm your guest, because we both staff here at DBS. You full-time and part-time, but thank you so much for again giving us a part of your evening. I've had a long day to be here to just interact.
Well, I actually didn't leave. I just changed my shirt because I said if I went home, I don't know if I'll come back though.
Well, I'm happy you stay. Maybe you find the strength, to do.
So what I'm just trying to do there, I have actually mirrored my phone screen.
Okay.
So you can I'll pull up my phone shortly, but let's go to the statement which was sent in to us from Dr. Stein.
Okay.
Dr. Stein sent us a message.
Yeah.
And I don't know. You wanna go for it? I still hear the music though.
Yeah, I have it fading in the background.
Oh, okay.
All right, maybe let's just put something else. Yeah, but yeah, he sent us something. Let me just take care of this one, and yeah. So he sent us quite something. He was saying AI is excellent technology, but the human brain has 86 million neurons.
Mm-hmm.
We have such a wonderful gift in AI.
Yeah.
But it is being touted as the solution to human forms of knowledge. We still do not experience the Milky Way in our consciousness. Still, what AI produces is exceptionally helpful, and I think he was creating the connection with our human brain, our ability to even have self-awareness, to be able to be aware of things, to connect with things, to tap into things, to reason with things, and to have ongoing analysis of things.
Yeah.
If I'm putting all of what he's saying together
in context,
right? To have as human beings, we have so you're here with me. We can have a continuous analysis of whatever it is. And at home, I joke with the Alexa. And sometimes I ask Alexa all kinds of questions, and then I would just hear, boom, like when they make that kind of buzz sound, it's like, okay, I have no clue what you're talking about. All right, so for us, my understanding of AI from your explanation also last week, it is what is put in is what it can give out.
Yeah.
All right. For us, we have things placed into us, but we also been gifted by our Creator to be able to reason, to be able to continue to play with thoughts, to think. And I think maybe that would be the right thing. A thought you can develop that thought. You could develop an idea. There could be progression with what. And I think what Dr. Steinberg Henry is saying, that with AI, in that there's that limitation. But he's saying it is an exceptionally helpful tool. So, your take as the web administrator, with all your understanding of everything that goes with it.
Well, to really come across this, I actually used AI to differentiate for the breakdown. So,
and before you go on, let me just give you I'm laughing because I think it was Stein who told me, or someone said to me, that there is a situation where now students are going to the AI to put together their whatever they have to do, for the school work and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And there's now professors who are correcting that thing through AI. So when you think about it, Nicole,
it all comes full circle.
But that to me, that takes away all the thinking.
You're saying the learning capacity. There's a few concerns that our personal learning capacity is going to be watered down.
Okay.
That a lot of individuals are going to put a higher emphasis on utilizing the technology instead of learning for themselves, like the self-taught role, where you would gradually encompass yourself as an individual earning or gaining knowledge through experience and through actually research. That part will be cut off, because the research part of you is what actually pushes you to want to learn more. But with the part where it's just fed to you, you just absorb the information. It didn't have no challenge. I think a lot of our growth has always been on the point of where we challenge ourselves to do certain things a little bit beyond than what was always supposed to be limited or limitation cap. So once we reach to that level, I think it will be concerning that how will you transcend yourself? How will you break through that third dimensional wall, or actually reach the fourth wall to say that I have now reached a new plateau? So in that essence, you're trying to understand to yourself, what is it left for me to do right now?
Yeah.
Artificial intelligence is going to be providing me information about everything. So what am I going to be learning in school? But this was something where
Is the question now, what am I going to be learning in school, or is the question more, is there a need now for me to learn, or I put all of that stuff into learning?
well, I think our learning curve, at least for everything that we've learned through school into tertiary and even higher forms of education, has been always been essential,
Yes.
because that pushes our mind to almost its maximum capacity. So we now finding in ourselves what we can do, as what we can achieve, but by the success that we retain from actually doing those milestones. And with the fact if the AI now doing some of it, people feel they have the concern. But the thing where I think it comes through is that the AI is not going to make you change that level of growth. The AI is not going to do that.
It's not going to do it?
I don't think so, because individuals in their own self will still need to reach those milestones.
But that would now be, would it be a situation where, let's say, for example, our legislators, now from that, there has to be regulations and stuff like that to control its mass use, because if we are saying you could complete an assignment through AI, all right, and the professors are now correcting that assignment that you got through AI, that eliminates the whole fact of you thinking. So I'm just saying, would it be, for it to stop, one has to, there has to be rules in place, because if there ain't no rules, we're going to break the boundaries. So if you go in an exam room, for example, they would say to you, no, there's not going to be any use of any electronic
devices.
For example, maybe something like that. I remember the last real exam I did was an exam at UE, I think 3 hours and about 100 questions, and it was like, okay, that was kind of, just think of artificial intelligence just going through all of the AI thing, just going through and saying all of that for you and doing all of that for you. And I think that's what you're saying. There will be the thing where you don't believe we will go all out in that kind of direction.
Yeah, I don't see it as that, because I'll say it's like this. Every time you send a child to school, or anytime you go to a class, you keep getting more and more to do. They're like, okay, like I think some parents have had concerns that, okay, I send my son to school, he's going to do 7 subjects, but then you end up hearing he's doing 16, 21, you're ensuring passing 21 subjects for CSEC, and you're asking yourself, why are they doing that many? They could have just done 5, they could have just done 7, they could have just done 10, but they're doing 16, 18, 19.
Yeah.
So you see, we always had that challenge that was there for us, and I don't feel that the challenge will go. Okay. Because even if you use AI, it will always be the point where you're going to ask yourself, can I charge myself even more if I use AI?
Okay.
Can I do even more? Can I do things quicker? Can I do things better? Can it show me something that my teacher couldn't show me?
But then, Nicols, today I was speaking with someone about normal and healthy stress, that kind of thing, that helps you in your development and in your growth, stuff like that. And when the mind is really active in processing things, in analyzing, in trying to comprehend and put all things together, you feel a part of your learning. Because you have now gone through, for lack of a better word, the right stress to get there. All right. And when I'm listening to you say about 16 and up to 21 subjects and all of that, and you're saying it will allow the child or the person to do more, it's like do more with a lot more help that is outside of you.
Yeah.
So that means that someone 10 years ago who did 16 subjects, he most probably would have more valuable information that they have retained, that is, that could be useful in their current situation, than someone now who would do the same 16 subject with the help of AI.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm saying, and
Yeah.
that to me is what would be concerning.
Yeah. So I'm just going to put out one scene from my presentation from Saturday.
Okay.
So let me just throw it on screen. So
Once again, as you do that, if you are listening and you have access to YouTube or Facebook, you can tune in there. The notes and stuff are out there, and it's empowering time. You can always, and if you just tuned in, it is where Nicols Dennis is the guest. He's a web administrator, and we are just dealing with things virtual in terms of learning and our exposure in this time.
Okay. So I'm just going to throw this on screen. You can look at it.
Yes.
So what I'm saying here is where I was touching on the misconception versus reality about AI. So like a lot of people say AI thinks like a human brain. So this is a misconception because people have the notion that AI replicates human cognition, but AI systems have consciousness and emotions, AI understanding context and meaning like human do. All these are misconceptions because in reality an AI system, it needs massive data, it struggles with concepts, it lacks common sense, and it has no emotional capacity.
Right. It lacks true understanding.
Yes.
It lacks consciousness, you're saying?
Yes.
And
so now in reality AI uses statistical pattern recognition. So the system has sophisticated pattern matching algorithms. So literally it does things that it finds that matches something that it has already pre-alerted to itself that is of value.
Programmed into it.
Yes.
Okay.
So that is the real basis where it comes down. So they have a lack of understanding. There's no conscious emotions. They don't feel sorry. They don't say, even if you may hear Alex say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that I made a mistake. Alex is just trying to supplement your own mental capacity to say that, oh, your robot made a mistake, it wasn't me. You know? So it's just doing that to please your ego, like a stroke your ego in one of a sense. But it does not have any form of notion into that capacity. So when people come and tell me, like, we have in this conversation about, will AI surpass us? Will AI reach a point where it is the point where that overcomes what we are capable of as human beings? I don't see that capacity because still it may do multiple tasks at one time because it's going to cut down the threshold. You're going to be now, instead of being the multitasker that have to do 10 things one time, the AI going to do it for you, but you're still the one that directing the AI of what I want you to do during the day.
Okay.
If I want you to go and answer emails, if I want you to go and make orders, if I want you to go and make a booking, everything is still you directing the artificial intelligence.
Yeah, but so can one say, having said, just listening to you, can one say AI in that sense would have a vast amount of knowledge and information?
Yes.
All right, over us, maybe over an individual. Collectively as human, we surpass it. Yeah, right. But I've just created this stuff. One thing I've group learning is always a great place. I'm going to say AI collectively would have had a vast amount of knowledge because of what is put in. So that maybe one individual, all right? But that individual ability with consciousness, with emotion, with all of that stuff surpasses AI. Is that a fair thing to say?
Yeah, I could rationalize that. Yes. The thing is, we have to ask yourself, like, what is the maximum capacity of thought for a human being? Like, how far can we go? Because when they ask us the question, like, how much of
what percentage of a
brain that you actually use, it's not anywhere near 50%.
Right.
And the AI now, it just has the capacity to just use 90% of everything once it has enough power. So it's not that we can't.
Once it have enough programming.
Once it have enough power. Power. Because it's very power consuming.
Okay.
I think
explain that to the power consuming part, if you.
The more, okay, let's say you have your laptop. And you're sitting in your living room and you put your laptop on you and you're watching a video, you're editing a Microsoft Word document, you're checking emails, and you start hearing the fan in the laptop spinning because it's doing multiple tasks at one time.
Okay.
And the more task it does, or the faster it does the task, is the warmer your laptop gets.
Okay.
So it's heating up and utilizing more power because it needs more power to process the transactions or the actual processing.
Okay.
And with that, we going to have an issue in the world where we're going to have a lot more power consumption being pulled for utilizing. Right now, they're trying to make artificial intelligence or what we call data centers, which will be storing the artificial intelligence for it to do more workloads. So as we gradually go up, we actually going to be consuming a lot more power. And I think that is a concern. So it going to reach a point where we're not even going to try to make the AI go too far, unless if we can combine it into a small, compactable distributor where it works on its own.
Okay.
But at that point, I don't know where we'll be. Maybe 10 years from now, maybe it might be sooner. But that's something that I don't know where it will be at that point. So it's just left for us to see. All right. But for Stein, I did something a little bit specific.
And this is Stein, good evening to you if you're listening. You know, that's your time now. So if you care to interact with us, you can always give us a buzz.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I took Stein notes and I went to the artificial intelligence and I took the YouTube video.
Okay.
So I'm just going to switch this on the screen.
Okay.
So let me see. I had to go here. Sorry, I had to do plenty. All right.
I'm amazed by all you do, man.
So technically, I added the source of the YouTube video, which is here.
All right.
So I added a source. I click add, and then I added a source.
Okay.
So this is on YouTube, Google Notebook LM.
Okay.
And it gave me a breakdown about the AI Professional of 4-stage roadmap. It actually break down. Okay, this is not the right video.
Okay.
Let me just make sure I got the right one. So I think this is it. Yes.
Right.
Sorry.
Yeah.
All right.
AI
So this is, if you're worried about the future, AI and human consciousness, a unified field of perspective. So I could literally ask you the question about, okay, what was Dr. Nader's main point in the video?
Okay.
And give me your output. Let's see. Hopefully. So it gives me what is the main point. So it literally scan for all the information of what he said, which was broken down into text.
Okay.
And that transcript now gives you the ability to process it and give its own thesis on the information.
Okay.
But here's where I going to come and do something. I don't know if Stein can hear this because it's going to play from my laptop.
Okay.
I went a little bit further.
Okay.
So I don't know if you can see this option where it says audio overview.
Right. Yes.
If I click here, it asks me, I can do a deep dive, a brief, I can critique, or I can debate.
Okay.
So I decided
that is on that video we're talking about.
Yes.
And all of that thing from
so
the doctor. Okay.
I asked the AI to debate with certain criteria about what was said, and I'll just play it so you can hear it.
All right. Wow.
Welcome to the debate. Today we're diving into one of the most profound conversations of our time, really, the fundamental distinctions or potential distinctions between human consciousness and artificial intelligence. Our discussion stems directly from the reflections of Dr. Nader, specifically his framework that suggests unique human capacities fundamentally limit AI's ultimate potential. So the core question we'll grapple with is, how robust, how complete is Dr. Nader's framework, particularly his assertion about human self-consciousness and access to what he calls a unified field of natural law, defining what AI simply cannot achieve. I'll be arguing that Dr. Nader provides a definitive and enduring delineation of AI's inherent limits.
And I'll be exploring the nuances within those distinctions. Not dismissing them, certainly not, but challenging their absolute nature as, let's say, insurmountable barriers, especially when we consider the future
You could
development.
pause anytime you want.
Yeah. So I just played that point there to just say the AI itself was having its own discussion and debate to break down everything that the doctor was saying. This is the point of where AI has gotten itself. Like, it can reach that point to query all the data, have its own input and rationale about the information. It's not personal, it's not emotional, but it breaks down information.
Okay.
So that's why I was showing you that the ability to critique, it had the ability to research, it had the ability to review, and it had the ability to debate.
So one can take a subject matter into like we have now. Like
Yeah.
I'm doing Get Empowered, for example.
Yeah.
I could take a subject matter, work it through the process, the AI,
Yeah.
and it can actually create conversation or a discussion or debate
Yeah,
on a matter, and I just pop in everyone and
It can dissect everything. I don't know if I'll share this one. Let me see. This one is okay. I don't know if I'll share that one.
it's a little too heavy. All right.
Yeah, yeah. But so like I had this one which is like past 5 years of vision for a dynamic nation. So,
Okay.
but we have this different information where it can always review all type of information and give you infrastructure, understanding, all those different things.
But that would be information within the database.
Within whatever I provide it with.
You provide it with.
If because remember I'm the one controller, I'm the director.
Oh, okay.
So if I decided that I wanted to give it information which is like a voice recording of us speaking right now,
Okay.
I say listen to what we said,
And then
then give me an analysis about what is the main point or what was the main takeaway from that conversation.
okay.
It'll scrub for everything,
Uh-huh.
transcribe it, scrub for everything, then try to make its own personal rationale about what we were saying and where we were supposed to be going with the conversation.
Okay.
You know, but that doesn't mean that it knows what we were actually talking about.
Right.
It just going by the data and what extra information that it provided.
Okay.
So, yes, AI doesn't have the ability to go to the point of saying it can consciously understand what is our current motives, but it has the ability to review data in ways where it comes close to human thought. You understand? It comes close.
All right, let's just do this. All right. If you just tuned in, it's now 20 minutes to 9 o'clock. It's Get Empowered on Tuesday night. My guest is Nicols Dennis, and we are just exploring the whole thing of AI and stuff like that. Just give us a quick thing. I mean, I'm personally intrigued by all of it. Wow. So much. It's really something else. All right. So you've just run through the process here of. Was there anything else you wanted to share on the thing that we? And again, we were looking at.
No, what I'll do is I'll send you the video and then you can say first time.
Okay. So we're looking at AI is an excellent technology. I think
Someone's
here
calling
goes the
in.
phone. All right. So let me just take this. Good evening, you're live DBS Radio.
I wonder if it would be possible to play what Tony Nader said.
Oh, okay. You mean the original, from All right. So he's asking if you can actually play
what the doctor said.
What the doctor said, and
Yes, it would be very interesting
okay.
to hear.
And then you
Okay.
and then maybe a brief analysis in that from the discussion.
Not necessarily. I don't necessarily have to come in, but I think.
No, I'm not
it
saying
was
you
the
come in.
distinction-
I was saying with the programming he did, and where there was a debate. Are you saying after we play the doctor's statement, can we give a little clipping from what AI is now?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
What I think our webmaster is doing is excellent.
Uh-huh.
I think he's telling us and he's making it clear that AI has been given certain bits of information, and based on all that it has gathered, it can bring together a critique, open up a discussion. I think this is important.
Right.
I somewhere in my mind, something is telling me that somebody gave or provided all that information to AI, and what if that is a Western perspective?
Oh.
Now, if a Westerner has brought all that billions of bits of data together from around the world, is it linear? Is it rational? Is it really mechanical? What is it, as opposed to the discussion on human consciousness? But the truth of the matter is, all of those perspectives are just so very important. You see, so it's not one so much better than the other, but we have to understand, as Tony Nader says, and let me just give a brief intro just in case you are going to play it. Tony Nader is the head of, he is responsible for meditation at Maharishi International University. So they are meditators. And his argument is everything has consciousness. So for instance, Webmaster and Jean Jacques, for me, communication, I received the definition of communication many years ago while a student at the University of West Indies, and it's beautiful. It says communication is the exchange of meaning between intelligences. Now, a plant is an intelligence. A stone is an intelligence. The ocean is an intelligence. An animal is an intelligence. A machine is an intelligence. You see, because when I did artificial intelligence in 1989, we had textbooks, and what were the names of the titles? Do Machines Have Intelligence? I remember that was about 422 pages of text. Another one was, Can Machines Think? But those were the initial days. And all of these are intelligences, and I love all of them. I'm just saying human consciousness is a form of intelligence also. So that is what Tony Nader says. They are all intelligences, but there's something about human intelligence that has a certain infinity, an everlasting and infinitude. It enters what he calls fields of consciousness. And that is a whole different thing from a machine. So, but I think, as I said, the machine is very, very useful. Webmaster, the machine, this is excellent stuff from all the machines and all the intelligences. But human intelligence, this is unique. And that is what he says. So it would be nice to play it so persons can hear the various views, because I think we are empowering persons, and I think we should let them hear all that people are saying. But the idea that persons can, AI can debate, consciousness, that's important. But where does AI get consciousness to debate consciousness?
Stan, before you pull away, I just want to you mentioned something that I wanted some clarification on. You said, what if in AI's program it is maybe strictly from a Western kind of point of view? Would you want to say, or are you implying in that there could be a particular bias with AI? Is that what you're pushing?
Well, I think the webmaster told us that, because I would like to think that AI draws from all cultures. You see, because a Buddhist conception, a Hindu conception, a Muslim, a Jewish, a conception from a Russian and a Chinese. A Chinese language conception is different from English language, which is 26 letters of the alphabet. So those are some of the things that go into constructing consciousness. So this is precisely what I mean. So there will be differences in the way people construct, they do the concept, and how they do their computers, the depth in which they go. Take, for instance, I used to do something called fractals. Now, when you come to do fractals, this is amazing stuff. What I would love to do is to hear what Nader says. I think that will make for a very interesting discussion.
Thanks
so if you can do that, and Webmaster, stay strong. I think you're doing a wonderful job. Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Stein.
All right. Yes. Go ahead. Thank you, Stein.
All right.
Yeah.
You were asking something specific? Or?
I was.
You wanted to play the we played.
Well, he wanted, I guess, what he's saying, to create maybe perspective, to put everything. Yeah, it would have been. I have my own little thing about some things the doctor said, in that sense. But when we listen, we can think. But my question was really, something he answered, because of all of what it goes into AI. I was asking if there's a bias with AI if all the information is from a Western perspective. Where the West, the East, there's just a different. I mean, I've been into the West, I've traveled in the U.S., and I've traveled within certain part of Asia, and just the understanding, the way, the mannerisms, the operation, it's so different. Hence, I was asking if there is there could be that bias, but he's saying, no, you think everything that is, in that sense, how would I put it, programmed? Is that the right word? Into AI? Is it something a program?
I don't want to say AI is programmed. It does have its instruction set, but there has been some varied abilities given to artificial intelligence, where it's not gatekeeping. There's no gatekeeper there that actually.
So can you put information into AI?
I can put information and create my own AI. Yes, you can.
All right.
You can literally. There's a thing which, there is AI and there's a thing called models, right? Now a model can be trained in a sense where it follows a certain pattern off of our previous model.
Okay.
But then you want to refine that model to have much more specificity, so it can target certain types of data that you want to feed it itself. So if I wanted something to focus specifically on Dominica's terrain and weather and climate and all of this, the information, while it's been a business model all the time, giving people information about marketing and social media, you could do that.
Okay.
You just give it that set of parameters to stay within that line.
Okay.
So it's like a guideline to guide the AI to say that this is where I want it to stay. This is what I want it to focus on. These are the key points.
Okay.
So you can give those type of specificity to it.
But that would be in you creating your thing. But then it would depend. It as the artificial intelligence will depend on that which it has.
Yes.
So it will go within its base database, so if that's the right way to put it, and analyze, put together, and then come with what you're asking.
Yes. There is other options right now where they give most of these models or these platforms to have a thing called tooling. And tooling is the ability where you can have the artificial intelligence seek additional information.
Okay.
Because at the start, I think of 2022, early 2022, when they were OpenAI and they had ChatGPT, it couldn't search the internet.
Okay.
All the information it had was as of December, I think, 2021.
Okay.
And it didn't have any additional information past that date. So if you wanted to say, okay, what's going to happen tomorrow based on the report from whatever happened as something coming up, it would not give you that information. We are now at the point where they started to give artificial intelligence the ability, or they possibly did it before, but they just never let us know or never gave us access to that point. But they started to give it the ability to search the internet, to find information about anything.
Wow, that's dangerous.
So when we had, but here's the thing, we've always had some form of artificial intelligence searching the internet. So we've had Google, we've had all these voice assistants from Siri, Microsoft and all that, but they never made it in a consumer-based environment to tell everybody you have access to this type of power.
Okay.
So, when you hear that AI has just come around and everybody's saying that AI can do all of these things and it's going to change everything, AI has always been there, but it just hasn't been in a consumer-based environment.
I mean, I'm reading Stein saying that in 1989, is it that what I read, that in 1989 he was in a class and they were dealing with AI. I was like, okay, let's go way back. That's
because remember,
that's
it's
36
computation.
Okay.
So at that point, the computation, whatever type of programmed information you gave to a structure at that point, it would now give you a specific output. I mean, you could make estimates of what the output would be, but then sometimes the output would vary.
Okay.
So there's always been that growth pattern that's been there over the years. We're just at a point right now that we have so much different layers of technology where the artificial intelligence can expound on the information much quicker than we can.
Okay.
And I think that's really been the concern, that artificial intelligence is doing things much quicker than we can. It's all about a thing about time, and I think the time, okay, it's all about time and the level of speed that it does it.
So, so everything about this world, we have fast food and we have fast information.
Yeah, you could say that in one. Yeah.
Wow. Well, all right. Okay.
So
Just so you know, I just got a message. Someone just tuned in, so they wanted to know if you again, like my friend who just tuned in. If you're just tuning in, we're continuing the conversation from last week. We're actually exploring the virtual space and platform, of learning and its whole impact on lives. And my guest is Nicols Dennis. He's a web administrator. He works here at the Nation Station. But he's the guy good. He had a good bit of vibes. So that's our guest and that's our conversation. So we have been dealing with a question that came in from a listener on AI, and it's and basically just its consciousness, if there is any with it, and our human ability. Do we surpass it in our ability? The discussion? So we hopefully will play a. Are you gonna play this? You gonna play it?
it's on in front of you. So,
okay. All right. So we're gonna play.
Yep.
All right. So I gotta do it, right? For you?
Yeah,
All
from that point there.
All right. Yeah. All right. So you have given me, the webmasters has given me, a certain level of power. A while ago,
I just empowered you.
Yeah, he empowered me. A while ago, he controlled my computer too. He had full control of it. So he says to me, "Go ahead and do that now." So here
it was me, not the AI.
All right. So here's a scary thing as you said that. My laptop was kind of acting up in some ways. I think it's very sensitive. So I am on there and it's minimizing and maximizing stuff. So like I have a Word document, and all of a sudden it goes down to I just see it just reducing. I'm like, what kind of story is that? So I rebuke whatever it is. Who's playing in my laptop? But and then it so that's that thing, and I was like, okay. So I took it to a tech and I guess try to correct some stuff. So I'm saying that to say, because you say it's not AI, but there's a great bit of suspicion now with people. Are there spies in my home? Is AI listening to my conversation?
Yes.
So you're saying yes.
Yes.
They listen to your conversation.
AI is technically always listening to what you have. I'm going to try and put this in this perspective. You've always had the ability to speak to your devices to tell it to do a task.
Okay.
You say, "Hey Siri," but how does Siri know you're going to say "Hey"? Because Siri is always listening. You ever thought about that? Siri's just always there listening to every single word. It's in your pocket. You're walking down the street.
No,
You're there in the dog back in. It's listening.
Yeah, that's scary. No, I'm saying, because, I know some person who are so suspicious about this item because they just listen. No, you saying that I was told that it's a dormant thing and it's only activated when
you prompt it.
You prompt it. That's what I was. So having that information, I kind of, all right, it is there. AI is in my house, but AI is dormant. It's not connected. It's not listening to me telling my wife, "Come, let me hug you." It's not listening to all of the kind of.
That just gives you a nice false sense of security, but it's always listening.
Oh, Lord of mercy.
I'm not going to say that the AI is not listening, because you're literally saying, okay, when I'm prompting AI to say, "Hey Siri," that's the only time you go and hear my voice. The only time you go in and know that I'm saying that exact one word, Siri. So if I say, "Hey Barbara," "Hey Connie," waiting to say, if you go and hear Siri, it's waiting to hear the word Siri. Once you say "Hey."
So it's waiting to hear.
Yeah, it's always there. It's always there. The thing which a lot of people have to have the idea that they can feel safe with is that it's not transmitting everything you say.
Okay.
So if you
But is it collecting data?
in time to come, it'll be collecting data on the device you have, and then from that device data, it may send it. But at current point in time, it's not slated that it's transmitting things you say.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is like the information whatever you're saying at the current point in time, that information will just stay by the device. The devices are going to be enough power or enough computation at one point where it will be able to understand what is you're talking about, but it would not say, I'm going to transmit this to my house server in Apple in LA or California and so on. So that information just stays there. What it can do, it can do a profile of you. So I'll give you an example. When you have your phone in your pocket and you walk in and there's a nice little health fitness app, it says, how many steps have you walked today? You've walked a lot of steps. Congratulations. How did you know you walk all them steps?
I guess it's on you.
It's on you.
Yeah.
It's monitoring how many steps you do. Hey, you did like 5 miles this way, 4 miles that way. How do you know how much miles you go? Because it targeting your actual GPS location.
Wow.
It's right there. I mean, I'm not gonna just say no, it's not monitoring. They are monitoring a lot of data, because technically everybody. I'll give you an example. Social media. Everybody want to be a content creator.
Content creator.
Right? So you want to be an influencer or content creator. You know what that really is?
Tell me. I really don't know.
You become an employee for the platform.
Okay.
So literally, you work for these people. You create their content for them. They don't have to go and say, I got to invest in this. I got to go in that country. I got to travel there. No. You're the one working for them. So yes, they'll empower you and say, yeah, we'll make some people see your content, but you're literally creating content for the platform. So you're right now creating the data for the company. So while you work with iPhone is a nice ecosystem that's segregated from a lot of systems. One iPhone can tell another iPhone where you were.
Right.
So they had this thing, I think they call AirTags, and the AirTags were given to people. It went on sale, I think, about a year or 2 years ago, and when you pass by a certain point, it will tell you when last that person was at that point.
All right.
They said it was for security and wellness. So if somebody were to snatch you or kidnap you, you can say, I last saw that person at that point. Because a lot of people's phone devices will actually turn off location services because they don't want to be tracked. But the AirTag was a new type of track, but it was supposed to be tracked within only Apple's ecosystem.
Okay.
So now, the thing is you have to ask yourself is, how much of my information is being tracked and why? The question always is, it's creating a profile on you. So when people worry about identity theft, that I won't put all my information on social media, your information is already given out every single day.
Without your consciousness, without you even
being
a part of it.
Technically, it's there in the fine print, but not everybody reads it. When you open your nice little phone and you scroll and you say, oh, the little information there, I have to read that now. Just click accept.
So so in some ways we're set up. Fine tune is always a setup.
Yeah.
Fine tuning where you define prints always like a setup, because we don't take the time to go through fine prints.
Yeah,
this tiny little thing.
A lot of people complain to me about certain mobile apps or apps on their phone, and they say, "But why is the app doing this?" I'm saying you literally get the app access to do this.
Yeah. Once you hit allow.
Once you click allow, you allow the app to do this.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't be complaining that the app is doing this. Oh, they're not supposed to take my content out. Of course they can. Yeah. Some people used to tell me about copyright and ownership and rights to certain content when it comes to social media. When you go on social media, you have two types of accounts. You got a profile, and then you got a page. So, as a personal profile, you have friends, you have connections. You meet, you engage with other people. But then, if you go and create a page where you want to promote a brand, that page content can never be private.
Okay.
It's always public.
Oh, wow.
Now, the reason why, as I was trying to say like earlier, everybody's an employee. When you create that content and you put it on Facebook, and Facebook comes and says, tells another person, share this or like this video for more people to see it. That content, once it leaves your main account to go to another person's account, that's no longer just your content.
Oh.
That's content for that other individual.
So like Facebook is a page. You tell me about profile and page. Facebook is a page, so that anything you put on there.
Facebook is like a giant gazette, like a giant newspaper. So it's always all in your face, but it's really trying to feed you new information on the front page. Like your news feed, whenever you scroll to your news feed, it tells you what's the latest news. It gives you the 10 top. Or it says what's everybody's talking about now, what's on your mind. It's always just trying to get more information to feed to the other audience.
Okay.
But it's still utilizing you as it's generating its profile based on you. You go, you're speaking to your wife or your daughter. You know what? I wanted to get some milk today. Eh? Hey, I wanted to get some milk. You don't say Siri, but you don't say hey. Then you go on your thing and say, we got milk for sale. We got milk. Lots of milk. I mean, in this little frame of seconds, the phone is monitoring the hay. Then you say milk. So, okay.
So,
is milk the keyword? The AI says no. But the social media app, which you allow access to your storage and to your microphone, is also accessing those type of services on your device. So it say, okay, I realize that the AI assistant is saying, or the voice assistant is saying that you were saying hey, but you didn't say Siri, you said milk. So I know what? I should show you some milk.
So is it? And I know we have this there, but that to me is a little more personal for us. You're saying there's this monitoring. There is this whole thing of that process. Would that be now? I'm having the conversation, and you're saying because I've allowed some things, allowed to my microphone, allowed to my maps, allowed to my everything you hit allowed, so that I could actually open up my phone and let's say if I go on Facebook, would milk show up or things pertaining to milk show up, because that has been the conversation?
Because it depends on the keywords you use, because that's why I say normally the word hey Siri. So if you were having a conversation about hey, you don't hear that?
Okay.
Hey, I was going down there. Hey, or you don't know about that?
They are programmed for the hey.
So now it's already programmed for the hey.
Okay.
So now it's waiting for the other keyword,
okay,
which would be Siri.
Okay.
But then it hears you say another word. So it just say, it put that word in the bank and say, okay, that's not the keyword, so I'm not going to say anything.
Right.
You know, so, but if the other apps are now monitoring those keywords after the hey,
okay,
it's going to now log that and then says, okay, now I'm going to show you this.
Okay. Wow. Someone is saying AI is destroying us, and it will get worse with fake news and intimidating and imitating people.
Well, there's a gold rush right now.
A gold rush.
Yeah, there's a gold rush right now. Normally, we in the online space call this dip. Like there's a big wave. 2010 it had a big wave. 2020 we had another big wave, which was COVID, and everybody that got online during that big wave would skyrocket their actual following, skyrocket their recognition online, because a lot of people would just jump into the internet to a point where everything is online. Everybody want to know. Now we had platforms like TikTok, and it's so immersive that you get glued to it.
Yeah.
I'll show you a difference. If you go to Facebook and you're scrolling, you will see a name of a person, a box with a picture or a video, and then you see another ad on top or another message on top. But if you go in TikTok, you see a full one vertical size video or picture of an individual. Excuse me. That's intentional. It's intentional to keep you immersed into that one frame, so you don't actually look away. There was a guy who I worked with previously in television, and he said the most important point of capturing a person's attention is to focus on how long they can stay attentive to you. So you normally you pick up a book like this, as an example. You'd say to me, like I'll tell you, Pastor, look at that.
Okay, yeah.
You turn away after 4 seconds. He said the amount of time the person watches it before they turn away is the attention span they have. After 4 seconds, that was it. I watch it, that's nothing interesting to me, I turn away. So for the social media game, that's how it came about. So
there's always moving, there's always a different screen. And someone was saying, even when you look at a music video, there is constant
there's constant sensitization there to keep you glued, or to actually hit different levels of your, I can't think of the keyword right now, but it's to actually keep you glued to the screen.
Span. All right.
Yeah, the attention span.
Okay. All right. So let me just inform listeners, because it's 10 minutes after 9 o'clock here on the Nation Station. Time seems to be going fast as we're having fun. I have with me Web Administrator Nicols Dennis. And we are just we're conversing. We started last week on virtual platform for learning, and we're learning. But tonight we're just having a conversation, and I like it.
Yeah.
We have something pending, but our listeners are intrigued with that. So here's a question that came in, all right? And the person is saying, I have a question that I believe may sound dumb. I'm just reading as it is. But learning about the ability of AI to think closely and probably further than human minds, could it be used to assist the world in solving problems, especially those unsolved problems throughout the past decade? My question arises from the present behavior of us human beings in today's world. If it makes sense, throw it out. Let's get it. So that's it. So if you understand, they're just I guess
to know if the AI can solve problems we've had in the past.
Unsolved problems throughout the past
unsolved mysteries.
decade. Yeah.
I would say yes, but then you have to understand the reasoning why AI is such a tool now. AI is not a tool now because it's there to change the world. AI is a tool now because
the world has changed.
The world has changed, yes, but people are looking to make new forms of money.
Okay.
It's literally just a financial incentive to cut costs. Some persons and individuals out there, they want to reclaim time for their own self. But a lot of the market cap is really to say, like, you know what, we've been spending, I don't know, $100,000 on this individual to be a programmer. We've been spending $40,000 on this person to be a marketing person. What if I just make the artificial intelligence do it, and I'm spending literally about $3,000?
So is that the reason why I could call a company? Someone could give me a number to call, and I have like the person said, a virtual assistant that I think was the name that was given, a virtual assistant telling me and prompting me into, want me to repeat something, and when I repeat it, it actually goes into the system as far as what my problem is and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You said with that type of move, you would have eliminated a whole 10 persons or whatever it is,
Yeah, like literally, as they have it stated, there in the next 5 years there'll be 78 million jobs lost.
78 million.
That's the estimated. By 2030 there will be 78 million jobs lost, but there's an estimated that 117 to 120 million new jobs will be created. So they are saying they're going to take away jobs, but they're saying they're going to try and create new ones. But then how many individuals are actually going to be able to, at the point of doing those new jobs? Us in the Caribbean specifically, we don't have a high level of individuals in the digital space. So we have some persons that might be handicapped, and how well will the infrastructure manage this? Because if we have a high unemployment ratio, especially for a country like Dominica, that can be very detrimental. But to answer the question for the guy that just asked, and there are levels of this artificial intelligence. Somebody call him. I'll take the call.
Yeah, we got a call. Yeah,
Let's take the call.
yeah. Good evening. Get Empowered is the program. You're live.
I wouldn't be calling you again, but I just wanted to drop by to share a few thoughts on the last question. Because I came out of communications, and I'm so happy that I did. We had, I mean, you can imagine when the first tractor landed on Dominica, let's see, it would mash up the land. Musicians always had amplifiers. As you know, well, most people didn't know what kind of boxes to put on stage to play. So technology was always something. But what I've noticed is that every bit of technology that comes on stream, it replaces another, and it always seems to frighten people. So, for instance, in 1989, as a student in Canada, I left to come to the Caribbean. I traveled Liat. I had an old computer, Nicols, called an Amstrad.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my Amstrad had no hard drive. It was about 15 by 7, and it had a 5-inch screen that was green. The rest of the body was probably all of the operating systems under that. For me to operate that, I had to put in a floppy disk, bring up the operating system, and type whatever I had to type, do whatever I had to do. And when I had to save, I had to remove the floppy disk and put in another disk to save. I was saying that to a friend, a friend of mine. He was telling me there was another kind of computer called something called the Tandy. Mm-hmm. But the joke of the matter is, I took a Liat to come to Dominica from Barbados, and I was sitting by a gentleman, and for some reason I just felt like opening up my laptop at the time, a very big one then. And when I opened it, then the gentleman who was sitting next to me, he sort of looked away. It's like I had suddenly frightened him, because we must understand that at the time when the computer came in, it was frightening people.
I get it.
Yes.
Yeah.
People used to say, will it swallow me? I can tell you, I was a student of communication. Will it swallow me? When I look at it, will it pull me into it? And then the flight attendant passed over my shoulder, and she saw this little green screen, and I could see her looking at it. When I looked at her, she pulled away. Because there was a behavior that surrounded it. Okay, fast forward.
Fear
By
the unknown.
2010, yes, the unknown. By 2010, of course, hard drives had come in, everything. I mean, I was doing Surrey. I used to enter Surrey, what is the temperature, hit enter, and it was, in those days, Surrey wasn't talking then. It was still just text, writing stuff on screen. And I remembered, by 2010, fast forward to 2010, there's a guy called Jonathan Haidt. He wrote a book, The Anxiety Generation. And he was finding that by 2010, the number of teens who were reporting depression and anxiety had increased right across Europe and the United States between 2010 and 2015. What could account for that figure? It was the immersion of what he called the likes, the subscribes, and then he said when the selfie came, it just blew everything out. What has happened is there was always in communication, Michael, something called effect theory. There is a whole body of literature on how media, social media, electronic media, whatever media, affects human behavior. It is true. In 2023, the Surgeon General of the United States wrote his report, Vivek Murthy. And this is what he said. He was concerned that producers of programming were using algorithms to control children's behavior. So the truth of the matter is, those things can happen, and those things are happening. Are we able to use the artificial intelligence to better move beyond MRIs and to get at deeper levels of observing human physiology? Of course. My friend Dr. Swinburne Augustine tells me there's equipment now that can see the birth of neurons and synapses in the human brain. Can we use it for better banking, better insurance? Can we track our accounting practices? And there are lots and lots of things that can be done with it. But the question becomes, there are guys all over the world. All they do is, you know Fred White, my friend Fred White. Fred White, he owns a radio station in Hamilton, Canada. And Fred tells me, Stein, I have to be guarding my radio non-stop because there are thousands and thousands of guys all around the world. They wake up every day and all they do is hack people's systems. So, my friend, the truth of the matter is there will always be anxiety. Is this 2025? We are into it now, like Nicols said, it's all AI talk. By 2030, we may have something else to talk about. By 2035, that AI thing will become just as how, my Amstrad disappeared.
All right,
so
Sam.
basically,
Go ahead.
But you certainly get the trick. But
yes.
There's always a consciousness built around it. Nations will use it for better approaches to war. People, it's just, I think it's just, and probably as a pastor, you may be able to tell us something about the nature of the human heart, the nature of human beings. We have this great gift of communication, but what do we use it for? You see, a knife is a great instrument, but what do you use it for?
Right.
So those are some of the questions. But are you going to play the two?
We are just the way the conversation is flowing. We will see how it goes. All right, because we appreciate your input and we appreciate that contribution. And we hope our listener with the question on will it be able to solve problems, he got an answer. Because we don't deal with it. So thanks much, Stein.
Yeah, well, what I was going to say is because of how AI now is receiving data sets, like we create knowledge base and data sets, we can have reviews of any type of situation we haven't solved in the past and have it scrutinize this type of content and then probably give us a solution to those outcomes. The predictive nature of what we may not have seen, because as I say, I use AI right now to really review a lot of financial and actual industrial solutions for myself to individuals that ask me the query. So when you want to know, is this going to work well for my business? Is this going to work well with as a return on investment? They ask me these questions, and they give me the information. I feed it to the AI model. The AI model gives me scenarios, and from there I can find it. So in our general economy or anywhere else in the world that may have certain situations, it has the ability to review, refine, and possibly give us possible solutions.
My mind is going wild with what you just said and with what the listener through WhatsApp sent the question in terms of solving, getting into, unsolved mysteries, unsolved problems. When you say that my device I'm working with and the person, the listeners, those of us who listen, those of you listening, your device you're working with, once you have given it access and you say you allow, so and you have an app and you want to do this and you say allow, that it has access to your microphone. That's what you're saying, right? Well, if you have you will have to allow what for it to have access to your microphone.
Applications on the mobile devices, we have a thing called permissions. And there are different forms of permission. There's location permission. There is microphone. There's camera. There's storage. There's phone call to actually make a phone call, send an SMS, and each level of permissions follows a specific route of how the information is being transmitted.
Okay.
One of the things a lot of people have concern is when they usually get hacked on their phone. They say, okay, someone's hacked my phone. Like, how did they do that? So you have a chatting app like WhatsApp, and you're chatting with that individual, and WhatsApp is supposed to be secure. However, somebody may be forwarding something through WhatsApp, and you quickly forward. They forward link you outside of WhatsApp, open the message, but because WhatsApp is a trusted application, and the link where you go possibly opens in probably a Google Chrome, mobile Chrome, whatever mobile browser you have access to your storage, they can say that malware to your storage device.
Okay.
And with that, the person can then possibly retrieve some information from you. But that's generally not the case, or it normally happens where people get, like, say, hacked. Most time, you usually link outside of your WhatsApp straight to somewhere online, and from there, the person really gets your information by you answering an array of questions. Sorry. Okay. So it have a lot of different ways where you can be exploited.
So your word of caution really is to say to us, be mindful of what you allow.
Yeah, you have to be mindful of what you allow. I don't allow my microphone to be used outside of the app. Only use when they ask me, do you want to allow your microphone all the time or while I'm using the app? It's always while I'm using the app.
Okay.
Normally, when you say I finish your application, I literally just swipe up, I close the application.
Yeah.
I know some people have the platinum phones, premium, those phones that cost like $1,000 something, and they say, you know what, I can just run 10, 100 apps in my background, not going to do me nothing, because I have enough processing power on my phone. My phone's an expensive phone, it can handle it. But then they get more skimmish when they notice that their applications and their phone has been compromised. Or they say like they tired with this lot of spyware or spamming messages from the social media. Sometimes they say I tired of social media, I get annoyed, and literally it's because they're sharing their information. Because remember, we are now the product. The product is not, when you buy a phone and you have the phone is not the product. You are the product. Your information is valuable because I have to sell that information. Literally sell that information to somebody you may not know, but they are going to be paying me so I can show you what they want me to show you. Okay. So whether it's campaigns in America for the current president, and he have his campaign and he want to show you those messages, or if it's something from a commerce store or any form of messaging, all those things there is really, you are the product. They need you. Right.
So what if someone allowed, maybe unlimited access, access even after they move from the app or whatever it is?
Always have access.
Always have access. Is there a way you can
reset it? Generally, you can go to your mobile phone settings and go to the application, and you can reset the application. Or you can select on Android, you can select and remove the permissions. On the iPhone, you may have to just uninstall the app and reinstall it. I'm not too sure. Okay. Because I'm not an active iPhone user.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
thanks for that information. I hope that answers questions that's coming from you. And again, you're listening to Get Empowered. It's 28 minutes after 9 o'clock. My guest is Nicols Dennis. And we are just exploring things. So, yeah.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is, because we'll go to Stein's video, but I think let me just roll off everything, and then we'll go to it so we wrap up under it.
Yeah. Okay.
The last time we were here, last week, I wanted to do something. And that thing was to show how AI could help with education. So I'll show a brief of that, and then I'll show you something else. So this is my mobile phone, so you can see it, right?
Yes, I'm seeing.
So I'm going to switch my mobile phone. Hopefully nobody WhatsApps me. Please do not WhatsApp me right now. All right, so I'm going to open my AI tools. I'm going to open this one. So this one is the famous Gemini. I keep reiterating this all over the weekend. Gemini. But I'm going to click the mode here at the far bottom right that looks like a little squiggly line for speaking.
Right.
So I'm going to click it. And right now I am in live conversation mode,
Okay.
as you can see.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
I'm hearing.
Oh, that's interesting. What do you think about this new way of interacting?
It's pretty cool. But here's what I want you to do. I'm going to click share my entire screen, click start. I'm going to go back up, let me see. Here. So these are files on my, what can you see?
Okay, I see the files on your phone. Do you have any questions about them? Or is there anything specific you'd like to do with them?
I'm going to open January Math CSEC document. So this is,
I see the January Math CSEC document. It looks like it might be a PDF. Would you like me to help you read it? Or is there something else I can do?
I want you to explain 1A for me.
Okay, let's break down 1A. It's asking you to calculate 2/3 of 1/8 plus 5/12 plus 1/9 and give the answer in exact form. Do you want to go through it step by step or just get the final answer?
No, that's fine. I just wanted you to just point that out so I could let Pastor Jean Jacques see. So, Pastor, as you can see, this is possibly one of the levels that parents can, because I mean, I finished school for about 20 something years ago. So when my son reaches that level, I may not remember basic expressions or formulas. But AI has reached this point where if a child wants to understand the equation, it can actually, I don't want to waste too much time on it, but it can actually explain the entire equation, how you get it working. I tried this. I tried different CSEC papers, and this is January 2025 mathematics. And this is one of the ways where you can literally, it's just watching your screen. So let's say, this was for Stein also, where he had this question about how you can utilize AI for visually impaired.
This could be a really useful tool.
You have the option where I can turn on my camera instead, and it can then just monitor what I am showing. So if I wanted to, let's say, you could press set up some hotkeys situation from your phone, select it, it will just open the chat and just go straight to your camera, and then you could then have it explain to you what is actually there. So you could tell me what's there, tell me how to do this, whatnot. So I mean, if you have like poor eyesight and you need some assistance, that's one of the ways you could go.
Wow.
So yeah, that's an option.
Wow.
Just to show you one last thing to just throw your mind off a little bit, I am going to go on Instagram. Oh my God, it came off the page, but I'm going to go back. So here we are. This is Tesla's Motors Instagram. I'm going to just make you watch a video. You don't have to listen, but just watch. What do you see?
Popcorn. A robot serving popcorn.
Yes. So as you can see, on the other side, we have what we consider actual attendees as robot AI serving popcorn.
Wow.
And we're not in 2040 yet. And it actually give me a peace sign after you leave. So yeah, we have those points now, and that was just a quick snippet. So we back.
So someone went to buy popcorn and...
We're just doing this demonstration, to see like how the public will respond to the artificial... I don't say artificial intelligence, the robotic intelligence actually just giving assistance to serving them popcorn. I mean, it have a lot of levels. I mean, we will grow into this whole thing. Now, a lot of people think like I am all for AI. I don't want to say that. I mean, there are certain things I'm very reserved on. Even if the AI can do it for me, I still do it myself.
Yeah, as you run in there, I maybe from the perspective of being a preacher, the thought just came to me, and I currently I'm having a Bible study with the church. I'm pastoring on the end time, and so we're looking at end time. We're looking at the end of time and stuff like that. And I am listening to you, and I'm thinking so far ahead. And you mentioned you spoke years, and I don't know when time is going to end and the world is going to end. I know it's going to happen, and I am thinking that the Creator will, just like He did for the time when they were building the Tower of Babel, Tower of Babel, and couple things. Man can self-destruct in some ways, and man can do so much that we're all in danger, it messes us all up and stuff like that. I don't believe, I know there's things evolving, and with AI and all of that technology, it's an evolution. Things are evolving so fast, I don't think it will reach to the point where maybe some people want it to go. I think things will crash. That's from the biblical standpoint. I think things will crash, and there are events that will happen. Rapture, all kind of stuff will happen. But I don't believe it will reach that point. As we're intelligent, we all of that. But there's a point where I think our Creator might just step in, and if within the framework of government, because government will become so helpless, the systems will become so helpless, that's why you have so much, all of that happening. It will become so helpless that power will be in very few people's hands, and they will be able to do stuff. Our world is so scary that you have North Korea. Is it North? North is the bad one, right? Or the guy is. I told him
Kim Jong-un?
Yeah, the
Same thing, South Korea.
Well, whichever one, that is the guy is. We just don't know a whole lot about him. He has the ability, and sometimes he just tests his missile. He just throw things in the sea. He scares his neighbor, because it's like you just see something flying and just go in the sea. But there's a capability these countries have to now. Russia can bomb.
Well,
stuff can happen all over the place.
You know what I'll tell you. You haven't seen the most recent movie from Mission Impossible, the last one with Tom Cruise, Day of Reckoning. That's what they call it.
I think I saw that. Tom Cruise, you said?
Yeah, Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible, Day of the Reckoning.
Okay, how long when that came out?
This year.
Literally,
it's like 3 hours going.
No, I haven't seen this one.
So, literally, this is Tom Cruise's final mission. In a previous mission, he went to some Asian country, stole some viral container or whatnot, because some people kidnapped his wife, but he still ended up killing his wife. But what he did there spawned the series for the next episode, which is now. And what actually happened is, it was an artificial intelligence that is literally growing, learning, and slowly controlling every major country's nuclear arms.
Yeah.
So it started taking from China, it started taking England, America was the last one to go. And what they were afraid of is that at the end of it, the artificial intelligence is going to just launch everybody's nukes at every single person.
Wow. Destroy
the whole world and try and secure itself somewhere in Africa, because that's the one place that had a secure place that was isolated from our technology. It had its own secure haven.
And Nicols, to maybe the lay person out there, the person out there that's saying, we grew up. What part of the country are you from?
You can more say Roseau.
Roseau,
like
okay.
My father's from Fort Name, my mom's from Mao, so yeah.
All right. But there's a time when some of the utility companies would have to send someone to read your meter, send someone to physically disconnect you. All of that is wired in the place where within the office, they can just type in whatever and they disconnect.
I think they still want to do it. Someone will take pleasure in that.
Well, I know, yeah, I'm just looking at it. That's the power that is now centralized, You know, it was decent. It was, it was all over the place.
Yeah,
Now,
I
now
get
it is
I get where you're
central.
going.
So
Where,
and that's my, that's my concern. And you mentioned Tom Cruise movie, and the fact that through what he's doing, through what is happening, then Tom Cruise movie, that's pretty wild.
yeah, it was a repercussion of his actions, and I think that was movie had some philosophy to it, where man's own repercussions will catch up to us.
Right. Yeah.
Where you're saying about what would actually transpire possibly in the future, there's two ways I've seen this going. There's one way where artificial intelligence will reach a point where it assists the growth of humanity, and we would change the whole depth of separation between classification of like hierarchy. So it won't be like, okay, that person is that person, that person. You have the robots doing everything. So no, can we just live a happy, better life? This is a possibility. It's not a guarantee, but it's a possibility. And then there's the possibility where things spun so out of control. We have more violence, we have more world hunger, because more people want to get rich. Because as I tell you, in my own personal understanding of how this artificial intelligence came into play, it's more of a business tool. Okay. So it's like something they're looking at to say, this is my new money maker.
But just look at how Elon and these other guys, just look at how they operate. Just look at how because these guys are some of the main guys behind the development of this virtual stuff and all of what's happening there. Look at there's always been a conspiracy theory with the COVID stuff and all of what is happening. And it's maybe to push an agenda to all of that stuff. So there is going to be that. In light of what you're saying, with the selfishness of man, there is going to be that push towards their own wealth, their own. I mean, this guy just try a rock. How many times he's trying something to go up in space?
Go to space.
How many times? And the cost of that,
Yeah, this whole feels this idea that we need a reset, like we are slowly destroying the earth to the point where we may have to abandon it in some years to future. So I think Elon Musk in his ideals is that if we can inhabit the moon, that'll be a second area where we can move to. But the thing about we have to ask ourselves is, how much of these movies and these thoughts or the screenplays and the stories that we have seen over the past 20 to 30 years have actually become a reality? Because we, as a child, I would never even tell you that, what, I'm gonna be talking to a robot on a small black thing in the corner of my hand.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a cell phone in high school, but it was way bigger than this.
Right, yeah.
But to tell you that this phone can take pictures, we used to have CDs. Where's the CDs now?
I was thinking about cameras, but we've been backtrack. I don't know if you have checked James Bond movies, for example. James Bond go way back.
Yeah.
Some of the older James Bond movie, and I kind of I've been looking at James Bond movie, and I'm like, now with the famous, you always have this guy. How they call him, boy? Q. All right, the Q is just the things that they did. They put together way back. And I was looking at that, and I was like, man, these are projections.
Yeah.
Because some of these things are no longer far-fetched.
Yeah.
They're no longer figment, fiction, and stuff like that. They are real,
Yeah, it's like we slowly catching up to our imagination on some levels. But it's just the governing policies around these levels and how it affects everybody else.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Going to really be the critical grounding matter for this.
So
the biblical context.
Excuse my thought, but then I think there's gonna be like I would, for you lack of a better word, a whole lot of tug of war, pull in there, because persons will want permission to do some stuff. Look at what is happening now. I mean, Putin is doing whatever he wants. And even Mr. Trump says he's going to end in that time. And he just had a conversation with Putin. The next day, Putin puts a bomb on Ukraine. It's like there's no regard for what you're saying. You understand? And then Europe is now meeting with this Ukraine president, trying to put something together. And at the same time, now, what's his name? Trump called them together and Putin, the next day he dropped another bomb. It's like there's no regard. So I believe there is always going to be that kind of stuff, even with the development of AI, to the point where I just feel a creator will step in and say, all right, that's the end of it, man. Let me just do what I have to do, moving. But, you know, you're going to say something with the biblical perspective.
Yeah, well, what I was going to say is, you know, I have a strong belief in some form of righteousness to all of what we do, and there is always consequence.
Okay, yeah.
So to tell you that we are just doing these things and nothing's going to come out of it, where we going to have to ask ourselves a question, I can't see that. You know, I have to say, like, you know, to myself, something has to give.
Right. Wasn't it, Stein mentioned the knife. Isn't a knife a good tool?
Mm-hmm.
But the knife is a weapon. You understand?
Yeah.
So AI could be a good tool.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, you have people through this little thing that fly over us. So,
Drones?
Drones. You have fellas dropping bombs now with drones. You understand what I mean? A drone would have been a great thing to go into places and look at how can we create a rescue, how can we do some stuff, what steps are we to do, what is the terrain there, how do we now get there. But drones are now used to drop bombs and things. You understand? So, that's why the whole thing is
power corps.
Right. That kind of development with all of that stuff. And don't be surprised if you said earlier, because we allow our mics, to access stuff, that in the quest to be empowered, because the world is going to be so controlled by one system from the biblical understanding, that AI or whoever is behind it will seek access to now transmitting. You said they can think, but they can't transmit.
Yeah, they can listen, but they're not, because of the fear of what everybody could know everything that happened about you. You're not supposed to be able to transmit. Could it do it without us knowing? Yes.
Because we always have the whole thing that I have my when we had our big phone at home, the providers,
when you hang up, that's it.
We felt when we think, but then the people could have listened to you. You listen to your conversation outside. You understand? Outside of you, you're at your home in your bedroom listening. That's why certain FBI and the CIA and some of these people,
we live streaming.
Okay, some of them have access to to stuff. So I tell persons, for example, even when you delete things in your phone, it's not really deleted. You understand? So because
that's a little technical mishap. Like, literally, people keep having this idea that they can delete, they can factory reset, and everything's gone.
Yeah,
data is always just bytes.
Right.
Whatever can erase, you can just
pull it back, because all I learned is just
recompress.
It makes more space, so it's almost like like the garbage truck. When the garbage truck pass, they have that stuff where when you put it,
compactor,
it just pushes it in, and it makes room for more, and stuff like that, and that's basically what's happening. It just suppresses it, bringing it down, so you feel you have space, and the thing is gone, but it's not gone at all. So this is my,
So let me ask you a question. What way do you feel you can use AI? Not for the church, not for your sermons, you already made that statement. What way do you feel you can use AI and technology that can benefit your everyday life?
That's a great question, and it's not one, honestly, that I have, because I'm such a strong thinker, and I think solutions so much, and I try to create. So there are things when I like, maybe for now, at home I have Alexa, so I, DBS, and I don't have we have radio at home,
A
but we don't
transistor
go to
radio.
it. We have that, but we don't really go to that. So if the AI is a little much, I would maybe just turn on, the provider on my television and listen. But most times it's through AI. So I may continue to tap into this type of tool. But in terms of maybe doing my work for me, I've not gone to that level where I'm thinking of what possibly could it do, because I think I would rob God's people of a genuine word, going to AI. I think I will rob the people I minister to if I go to AI and say, could you give me a sermon on, like now we're studying, in our Bible study, we'll continue tomorrow on walking in love. All right? If I go to AI and say, I would like a teaching on walk in love, specifically feel your love, which is what we're dealing with, and get that, and now just give that to,
Regurgitate it.
Yeah, I feel I'll be cheating, so I can't do that. So your question is a great one, and I will.
Well, you see, you touch on a point there, you do a lot of thinking.
Yeah.
Now, I have been an individual, I never know everything, but I've always been asked, Dennis, Nicols, why is the answer? How do you fix that? So I've been asked so much, and I have to do so much multitasking that I have to find an answer for every single thing everybody asks me. It's become, I don't say burdensome, but it become overwhelming.
Because you're in that space.
I'm in that space.
Right, you're in that
space.
So
when you've been in that space for so long, and you ask yourself, okay, you know what? Give me a solution that references this, and it could possibly have this outcome, but I want it to do this, and if you're doing this, give me the other outcome for this. So really, this is how I converse what I want the AI to do.
Right. So your world and the folks you're seeking to help are more in terms of, maybe if I should say, technical things.
Sometimes it's technical, but sometimes it's just, okay, it's like I have so many different people that ask me questions about something that after a certain point in time, they always expect me to have the answer, and I tell them I don't know.
All right,
saying the word I don't know to somebody, like I remember I literally sat with someone and I was like, they asked me a question, I don't know. Okay. What do you mean you don't know?
Yeah, it's the
I was like, what do you mean? I said, honestly, I don't know.
Right. And it's a good thing to do.
Yeah.
So whereas I don't want to say your world is just limited to the technical aspect, but for me, my field of operation is a lot relational and a lot of personal stuff. So
the trust factor,
right?
I think that's the merit you're probably looking for, because AI doesn't have that form of trust factor with anybody. There's no form of forming that bond with an individual, and as I was saying in my presentation, maintaining that bond with the people that are your customers, the person that are your peers, is the most essential thing to maintain as you go forward, or as we transcend into this new realm of utilizing this type of technology. Because no matter where you go, no matter what job you're going to transcend into, you're going to end up having to say to your superiors or the individuals you work with, I need you all to trust me.
Right. So back to you and the tool and how I could use AI. So earlier that was so brilliant, and I really, truly, Nico, appreciate all what you've done for the past two programs.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm so grateful.
No
and hopefully we can take it to another level another time. So I'm truly appreciative. When you get on this thing of the doctor and you created you showed there 4 areas they could deal with it, and one of it was the critical, to critic.
The critic, the debate, and the deep dive.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I think you shared the debate.
Yeah.
That is fascinating. So we at church, we are having some stuff, and something come up because of my whole concept of group learning, because I believe every room I sit in, where there's people, the information is at university level. I believe every time I sit in a room with individuals, for us to have a Bible study, a meeting, a discussion, that room has information that is at university level, and if there's something further than university, I believe that room has it.
PhD.
Right. I believe that room has it. You understand? What I do is create a lot of conversation. So I ask a lot of questions because what I'm probing, I'm probing, I'm seeking, so that you can make a contribution. And I remember we having a Bible study, and this 21-year-old has made a statement in that thing. And honestly, I just went, wow, that is, I never thought of that. That is so, and I'm commending her, in this, because I didn't have that part of the information. You understand? And
Yeah.
I'm the one facilitating the study. I didn't have that part of the information. But she created a perspective with it. She brought a point of view with
spin
that.
on it.
And I was like, and then an adult now, who is now in the 50s, made it, and I was like, so seriously, you guys I better make you all teach, man. you understand? So that's what I utilize. Unlike, let's say, going to Google and say, let's see what Google say. You understand what I'm saying? Let's see what we have on Google. And some people actually in the study will connect with the virtual, with
space,
right
yeah.
there. I don't do that. Because as I'm saying, that room I'm in is loaded with knowledge. It's loaded. Every time I respect my audience so much that even if I'm the facilitator or the teacher, I don't think I have it all. And so that's where, for me, for that particular aspect of developing lives, I will not tap into AI because the room is loaded. And because the room is loaded, and there's consciousness, there is emotion, you have emotion, you have the consciousness, you have reasoning, you have the development of thought. I rather deal with that, because it's stimulating, and because I'm a thinker, that stimulates me. So I don't think I would bring in AI into my study. I'll continue probing, and ask people to continue to think. So I even tell them, don't seek the answer when we have discussions. I say, don't seek the answer even for your
cell phone.
device. I tell them that don't seek the answer through your device. If I give you a verse, if I give you a thing, use the Bible, use what is there,
And
ask
give you
questions,
interpretation.
and deal with it. And bro, it does be it's stimulating, and I really like it.
Yeah,
it
can be like what I can tell you is I created a WhatsApp community group like 2-3 years ago, and I added business people, data analysts, IT people locally, overseas. There are a lot of individuals in there who have a lot more skill than myself. So when people even class me as right up there, I'm just saying, no, I'm just there.
In the community,
So I'm just there because I acknowledge their capacity.
Right.
I acknowledge the level that they are at. And even if they are at that level, I still will have some form of communication with them that seems a little bit challenging but a little bit informing. So, but I learn from them.
Right.
So I always say like, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Let me even find out more.
Yeah.
But at the same time, these are the individuals that push me to even say like, okay, you know what? I'm still in the game. I'm still fresh. I'm still young. I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I'm still developing.
Yeah.
So my mind is still like, okay, I'm not retired out of this because I'm not as old as much people. But when you see reach my age, you'll be like, am I slowing down? Do I still got it? Can I compete with a younger crowd? So I understand where you're coming from in this discussion.
Yeah.
But as I tell you, the only form for me with this whole AI, because as a designer, I still do a lot of design. I like to see my output.
Okay.
I mean, I can send something in the AI, tell it create it for me, but at the end of the day, I'll see my output.
Because you're within that space.
Because that was always my passion. When I first, I just give you very brief. When I first went to use a graphic design software, it was to apply for a job in town. And the guy told me, do I know anything about Photoshop? And I told him, no, I've not used it. So he tells me, okay, go home and bring something back tomorrow. So I went up by a friend. I say, tell me everything you know about Photoshop. The guy shows me. I say, oh, okay. He gives me like 5-10 minutes, and then he goes, and I'm just left there on my own. Go home, cram, do everything, edit, watch video, try and do this, save it on a diskette, a floppy diskette at this time, yeah?
All right.
Come back down to town, and I'm like, yeah, okay, this is what it is. Yeah, this is okay, but it's not good enough. And I was like, crushed. I couldn't deal with this.
Yes.
I said, you know what? Okay, I'm leaving this computer thing. I end up working in a pharmacy as a pharmacy technician for some time, but that still wasn't for me.
That was your passion. Yeah.
You know, so I went back into this whole design thing, trying to figure out, because I charge myself every single day to become a graphic designer.
Okay.
To be a person that designs and edits. Even when I started doing video editing, a friend of mine was overseas and she wanted help with video editing. I just went straight all into it to just try and help her. But in the same sense, she recognized my work, her classroom recognized her work, and then I ended up going into cinematography. And that's how I end up in that space. So I understand the wanting to develop yourself through your own recognition of your own ability. And it's something where you need to recognize that for yourself. So everybody needs to recognize that they're listening and hearing this. As for me, with this whole AI thing, as I told everybody, I just see it as a business tool. So anytime it comes on the business sector of where you can use AI, conversational wise, it might seem funny and entertaining sometimes. You know,
because last week after we were done, you did a song for the program.
Yeah, I just literally took 2 minutes and threw it up and make a song.
We had AI make a song on Get Empowered with our tagline.
Yeah,
with the tagline of "Don't get better, get better."
Get better, be better.
And then don't give it not an excuse but a reason. And you actually made us 2 songs, and you asked me certain questions.
I'll tell you, like this afternoon, self. I was speaking for a program director, and I was telling him something about AI. I told him, you know what? I can make anything with AI. He told me, like, nah, you can't. So I took my phone. There was literally a magazine book in his filing drawer on top of his table. I took a picture of it, and then I just told it to say this.
You told it to say that.
I typed it in. This is a still picture. So I took a still picture
from a magazine.
From a magazine on top of his desk, threw it in the air and said, "Sing for Miguel."
Yeah.
So Miguel pulled up and was watching like, no way.
Yeah. I know.
So I told him, yo, you can do anything, man. It's anything.
So entertainment wise, because that for you would be entertainment. That would have
that's fun, yeah.
Right. But because you're in that space, I could understand, and I'm going to ponder on your question. The question,
like where you can use it.
Because I'm involved in a whole lot of stuff. I definitely, when I sit with people in a counseling session, for example, I want to be engaging, I want to be connecting. In fact, my training, it's like when I was trained at UA, the whole thing is no desk. So a desk is not something you use in a counseling space, so that means I haven't got something typing in or looking at some stuff, because it has to be engaging. There has to be eye contact. You have to, be an active listener. You have to be able to paraphrase. You have to be able to listen. You have to be able to do some things.
I will discuss, yeah.
Right. So you eliminate some things. I cannot see AI in there because in that sense, I could maybe check out AI in preparation. You understand? So in preparation, I may have an idea from my previous session I may have had a problem, or an issue or something that the couple or the person brings up, and it's maybe I'm not familiar with it, and maybe even how familiar to navigate my way through that. So I can't. You understand what I'm saying?
I get where you're coming from, and that is one thing which, even if you may speak to the AI and you may think it giving you that type of conversation, it really just trying to just reiterate something else. It's what I would say is, in conversational, AI is usually a regurgitation of something else.
Okay.
It's never original.
Okay.
Even when I make the song with the AI, like last week I made the song,
Mm-hmm.
that song, as it seems unique, it's not unique.
Okay.
Because it is now basing this song style from someone else.
Right. And
This is where the whole music industry.
Gregory Isaac.
You're right. So the whole music industry is really in an uproar because they say AI is building its music sets based on their vocals.
Right. Okay.
It doesn't use their voice, but because of the alto tone or the octave of how they sing or a perform a song, the pitch, it can simulate this.
Okay.
So a lot of AI's conversational is simulation.
Okay.
It's not actual conversation.
So AI may not replicate my voice directly like
your
that.
tone, your accent,
my tone, but then but it can actually utilize
your form of speech, your accent.
Yeah,
It can mimic a lot of these things, and I think that's where a lot of people have to understand where AI falls short.
Okay.
So because AI is there to do certain tasks, but it's not there to replace that task.
Right.
And
your question earlier about what we think, I've heard of the situation where one person said soon AI might take over preaching. So the same way you created that stuff with the debate, a preacher or a pastor could just say, I want to preach today, whatever it is, and could just create something with AI and just play it around. So, like you have a Zoom session, or you have something, you just play things. That's where I'm saying I cannot see it yet, because ministry for me has to be personal and has to be people centered, and so I just being engaging with people, connecting with people is important. I can't make it artificial. I cannot make it where it's not me.
I get what you said, because here's the thing. As working in social media sets, there's a lot of form of where we have generative AI right now, where I can literally create an avatar. An avatar is literally a representation of yourself, and that avatar can speak like you, sing like you, move like you, blink its eyes like you, have your same facial structure, and it can characterize your personality.
Okay.
Now, while that has the ability to do all these things, you're now in a disconnect with your audience. So you never really have that personal touch with the people.
Right.
So what becomes something that was a passion is now being subsidized in a way where you cannot really gain any true value from what you're doing.
Right.
So I can understand where it cuts back on that. So I personally not utilize any form of generative AI that replicates myself, like usually for promotional purposes, because I'll tell you, a lot of things I've done in the tech space, it's been the fact where I didn't have enough money to compensate to do certain things.
Okay.
So if I wanted to say, you know what, I want a Nikon D7500 camera, which costs like $800, the lens is about another $1,500, and then I need to go to Montrepiton or Cabric Spark or Whitey Kubuli Trail to take a shot. I have to go and pay a boss and all. And right now I can just tell the AI, yo, create that shot, Montrepiton, using a Nikon D500, and then
for real,
make it 10 megapixels.
For real.
So it does that. I'll be like, yeah, okay, cool, thank you. That's literally that's the reasoning behind it.
All right.
It's like it has some people that doing like programming and web development, and they're now telling me, yo, I can build a whole SaaS, a whole application development with AI, and I'll be like, yeah, you can. But then here's the thing: can it fix the bugs? Do you know how to secure it? Does it know how to make it safe? Does it make how to make sure the end user sees? Because one thing of being an application developer in those senses, we have to think about the end user.
Okay.
The end user experience is the most vital thing. You never build an application for yourself. You always build for the person you don't know.
Right.
So when you build any type of platform, you say to yourself, I want it to interact that way for that person. I want it to interact that way on a mobile phone for that person. It's like when I did pay-per-view DBS in 2022, first year I came here. I had to redesign everything for the elderly, the young persons, the old persons, the people that have their TVs, every single thing. I had to think about everything.
Okay.
The AI would say, hey, platform, if the person don't understand, they will learn.
All right.
That's the AI's model.
All right.
But me now, I'll be like, no.
You won't.
I had to think about, that lady there. I know how she acts. I know she not going like that. She want to pay and she just want to watch.
Okay.
So this is the way how you structure your own development through utilizing these platforms.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah.
Hey, Nico, it's I guess you have had a long day. It's 10 after 10. And,
yeah. I still don't want to sleep now. Anyways, when I go home, it's back to work. Yeah. So.
But I'm truly fascinated by that, and because this is so much about this, the space we are in currently.
Yeah.
That the conversation has to be progressive. We have to continue conversation like that, and so hopefully we will have a conversation privately on how we can empower persons more and more into that. Because what we just did there, we had conversation, and I'm getting some amazing messages on what the conversation is doing for people. Because we're conversing around something that everybody can identify with. I have a phone, and I wasn't wow, I allow this. I have this gadget, I have this. I'm within the space, and whether it is me directly or somebody else. I'm using the virtual platform Zoom twice a month to teach Bible study. And for me, as the teacher, I have to be seen, so my video is on. Because when I follow any teaching, the lecturer, I should see your face, because that to me is personal. So I don't want you hiding behind something and you're lecturing me, I'm seeing maybe a still picture of you, because it's not engaging.
Yeah, but some people camera shy.
Yeah, well, if you're my lecturer, you can't be camera shy. If you are teaching me, I don't want to be camera shy, and for me, if I'm teaching persons, you don't have to turn on your video, but I want to show it's engaging, that kind of thing. So that's the space I'm in, and I'm respecting the space. I'm growing in the space. I'm learning. So the past 2 times with you, bro, you've opened my eyes. I've really been empowered. Yeah, I've been enlightened, and I got a great bit of review from persons last week, and I know it. Tonight was even. If I would compare the conversation, tonight was exceptional.
Yeah,
and I truly appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I really trying to get into doing this as a thing where I am trying to share the knowledge with others to make sure that they themselves feel like, okay, I had a very simple statement about this. I provide simple answers to complex questions. So anytime somebody have a question and I know it probably over their head, I have to try to figure out a way to break it down for them. Because some people used to tell me, have you ever thought of the idea that when you think it's simple to you, it's not simple to the next person? So you now need to restructure the way you're phrasing your output to match that individual.
But I also say to people, it's not complicated. It's just follow the instruction.
I tell you, what follow that instruction?
For example, I put together a lot of things. So, because one of these days you get stuff and you got to put it together. And there are times, I remember one thing I was putting together and I felt, well, I know how to do that, man. That. And
yeah, I think I went to KSC and they had the kiosk and I was like, okay, they have a kiosk machine. Okay. Press. Oh, good done. So everybody watching me like, you do that in like 5 seconds? I was like, well, yeah. You know, and the other person like, but how you do that so fast? I was like, because it just literally straightforward.
The instructions
it's straightforward,
right,
you know?
yeah.
So yeah, it does some things like that. It's easy for some people, but other individuals just seem like it's something that they're not accustomed to. So it can be like a bit overbearing, you know, for them. So that's why I tell you, sometimes I just have to bring it down and say to myself, okay, they don't understand. And sometimes I think some people misunderstand me when I say you don't understand, because I'll be explaining something to somebody, and when I tell them no, you don't understand, it's not like I'm trying to be insulted to them.
Right.
I'm just really trying to tell them that's not the way it's supposed to go.
Right.
Let me try to restructure it and say to you, and I'll do that, and they feel probably like they'll take it personal, and sometimes I just say, you know what, okay, I just have to hold back until I can probably give them a visual example of how the actual explanation can be.
Okay.
Because not everybody is open-minded to having some form of correction.
Yeah.
Yeah?
That's so true. So thanks again, Nicole. It's 15 minutes after 10 o'clock. Truly appreciate you went overtime.
Yeah.
And I will have to call. I'll have to tell the PD and the manager of your thing. So, and Mr. Dominic, so you can get some overtime.
Well, you know, independence is around the corner. That's always where they do those things.
Yeah. So appreciate it once again, ladies and gentlemen, all of you listeners. I was Get Empowered for tonight. My guest is Nicols Dennis, and web administrator here at DBS Radio.
Give me a plug.
Give you a plug.
Yeah, so everybody that's listening, if you want to know more and you want to follow me, look for me on social media at Digital Dominica. If you just look for Digital Dominica anywhere, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, you'll find my channel. Follow me there, because what I'm going to be releasing, you don't want to miss.
Wow. All right. But you know, I have not subscribed to things like TikTok and some of these things, because I just, for me, managing of time is important. And you said something so profound. I don't want to continue the conversation or prolong you being there, we can talk, you know. Managing my time, because I have, even going on this thing I remember one time I was looking at something on Facebook and it was leading one to the other, and before I knew it, I'd spent an hour and something
Just watch it.
and I was like, seriously?
He's trapped. We've got him.
I'm like,
The Facebook algorithm has got him.
I'm like, no way. You know, and some of them, you know, were like, when I because of the exercise, it's almost like they know what you want. So they keep sending you. So I had this series of things on the particular exercise I wanted to do. And I'm like, oh, they know I want to do that. You know, and it just keep coming and it just drawing you into it. And then there's another one I like
subconsciously, you may have looked at something and it saved that bit and it wait for the perfect target moment. It happens a lot with videos, which we call reels.
Okay.
So say you engaged with certain content and you do it more than once. Let's see anything of habit, because see we are creatures of habit.
Yeah.
So anytime you do anything that is repetitive, like you go and look for something, the same thing 3 or 4 times, it maintains that information, and then it says to itself, okay, I'm going to show him something, or that's what he wants to look at, or that's what is currently there.
Yeah.
But wait a while, I'm going to bring 2 other things which I know he likes. I'm going to keep him there. Okay, because watch it. Facebook monitors, or mostly social media monitors, how long you stay on their platform.
Okay.
They have an active thing called watch time. In our whole analytics game, one of the key factors is how much watch time does an individual gain on a certain medium. So if you watch YouTube, you watch Facebook, you watch Instagram, you watch TikTok, we don't want to watch the analytics to see how many likes we get, how much views we get. We want to know how long did you watch for?
Okay.
Like if you want to get money on Facebook, you must have people watching videos for up to 3 minutes.
Oh.
You must have a 3-minute video.
Okay.
If you want to get any paid on YouTube, where it says the person must be engaged for more than 30 seconds.
Okay.
If they're not engaged for more than 30 seconds, they ain't gonna pay you.
Okay. Okay.
And if they're engaged for more than 5 minutes, they'll pay you a certain amount.
Okay.
Because there are different tiers for where the advertisements go.
Wow.
And this is really how, when you do this whole social media thing, they talk about creating a hook. So they say, within 10 seconds, you have to create a hook. That's why I showed you the paper. It's like literally, after 7 seconds, that was the definition line I was taught in cinematography. You have about 5 to 7 seconds of actual viewership before somebody decides that they want to look away.
Okay.
So if you can keep them looking up to 10 seconds, you won.
All right.
Yeah, but that's about it, man.
Yeah. Hey, we'll continue the conversation. Thanks so much. And so that's where we ended tonight. Get empowered. And we live in the positive, we chant down all negative, and we seek to help you get better, not bitter. So thank you so much for your time tonight. Let's just do this, and we'll be out of here.
The positive.
Here is an invitation to get empowered on DBS Radio every Tuesday evening